if you're not wearing green,
if you're not wearing
pinch,
green,
or can you pinch someone that's not wearing green?
you can pinch someone who isn't wearing green. So
I
both of us
I
are
knew
good
you were
right
wrong.
now.
Yeah. I don't have on green.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that
I
camo
have
is
green in here. Yeah.
Yeah, you got green on. But if you don't have any, wait. So is like St. Patrick's Day not that like big of a holiday? Like I did notice as I was driving here.
Are you crazy?
I was like, oh, this is fun. Everyone's wearing green, and then I did pass a group of black guys, and none of them were wearing green. And
Why
I
the
was
fuck
like,
would we wear green? Number
don't
two
know.
is like also like I've never been to Boston on St. Patty's Day, but I'm from Chicago.
But Chicago
It's
is
the biggest.
crazy.
Yeah, it's the biggest. What you talking
Yeah,
about?
the river's green.
So what are you talking about?
So
just
you
asked
know
me
you're-
it's not that big. Yeah.
So but you don't know about pinching.
Cause motherfuckers don't have to pinch no black dude. Ain't nobody gonna come and try to pinch you. Ain't nobody try to pinch me.
I just found out this year that I'm more Irish than I thought.
I'm
My dad's like mainly Irish.
probably
He's
more
like
Irish than you.
82% Irish.
Oh, is it? Okay,
Yeah.
I'm not more Irish than you then. I
Well,
have like a big percentage of Irish in my family.
really?
My grandma's 50%, and then
What?
Yeah.
Like half white?
Yeah. That's what 50% means.
Well, I didn't know. Maybe there's black Irish people.
No. Yeah. So we developed the McRib. We know. No.
That's funny.
No. Yeah, my grandma's half white.
Oh,
But yeah. But then Brim, my last name actually comes from Ireland.
really?
Yeah.
Yeah, Reinacher, I think, is German. I always thought I was German, and
It
then I
sounds
found out
pretty
that I'm
German.
like pretty. Just a little bit of me is German, which was kind of like a little bit of a relief, you know.
I don't sit up enough. I'm gonna
Germans
raise my
don't.
mic a little bit and sit up a little bit today.
I'm trying to sit up too. I actually haven't worn
Is
this.
that up too much?
I don't know, I kind of like it too. Look, we got some
Welcome.
posture. Do we have weed around here?
Pastor, I got some right here.
Okay, cool.
Chill out, bro. Hey, if you're just tuning in, welcome to the newest, the latest, and all that great shit. No, the newest episode of Wine and Weed.
Wine and weed.
Wine and
Welcome
Weed. Wine and
to
Weed.
Wine and Weed, aka Cabernet and Kush, aka Pinot and Perps, aka Chardonnay and Swag,
I thought it was
Not swag.
Zinfandel. What is it?
aka
Zips?
Zinfandel and Zips.
Zinfandels and Zips. Yeah. Yeah, all of that good shit.
I always thought a zip. I always thought you called an ounce a zip because it was an OZ and the Z turned into zip.
And then I was like, yo, put it in the Ziploc. And he was like, oh my God.
I was like, oh my God. Has this whole time when people say zips, it means like a Ziploc bag of weed, which is an ounce?
My homie brought me a Ziploc bag of weed yesterday. It's crazy. Let me go. I'm gonna
If
grab
you
it.
know the origin of the term a zip for an ounce of weed, please let me know. Is that from an OZ or is it because about an ounce fits in a Ziploc bag? Because if it's the second one, it was right in front of me this entire time, and I just never knew. That's a lot of weed. That's nice. A shit ton of weed for somebody who doesn't smoke to bring by. This is nice weed, too. We should smoke this.
This is really good.
This looks great, though.
It is, fellas. It's pretty good, actually.
We're just pulling a Billy Ray Cyrus over here, just pulling out massive
No,
amounts of
that's
weed
not-
on
yeah,
camera.
And that's child's play to Billy Ray Cyrus.
Ooh, this is delicious.
Yeah, it is.
Chardonnay and Sunset Sherbet.
Yeah.
What else is wine and weed? If you're watching on YouTube, if not, you guys can watch on YouTube. If you want to actually watch us have this conversation on the couch in Sterling's house, instead of just listen to us, go to youtube.com/wine and weed. Our YouTube hookup told us we will have that address by next week. And you can watch us. And in the comments, let us know if you have any alternative names for wine and weed. I think we should have a offshoot show called like Tannins and Shake or something, where it's like the leftovers.
What?
Tannins and Shake.
What the fuck is that?
Tannins are like the somethings in wine. They're like, and shake is like the bottom of the weed bag. It's like the extras. Don't worry, it'll come out later. It'll be like our as we expand our franchise.
Why not something that roaches?
Oh shit.
I'm joking. I don't think that's.
Roaches.
Is it an after show? Are we getting like Chris Hardwick to host it or some shit? Like, what is this?
Talking weed.
Talking weed on this new episode of Talking Weed. We do a reunion episode. Me and Chris just get into a fight for no fucking reason.
We've released 2 episodes and we already have a reunion show.
I'm wearing like my finest dress and fur boots.
John Ross is with us. John, are you? I don't know. Can we hear you? Oh, am I? No, we can't hear you.
We cannot hear John Ross. Did you mute John Ross?
I'm a little confused.
You're always hating on John Ross.
Oh, did you plug in the wrong? Oh, you plugged in the wrong thing right here.
Oh, you know what? His isn't plugged up. I'm sorry.
We're gonna cut and re-roll for a second.
A few moments later.
There we go. John Ross in the house over here. Hey.
John Ross in the house.
This is Sterling Steelo Brim, a.k.a. that dude, a.k.a.
Scooby-Doo's best friend.
Scooby-Doo's best friend.
A.k.a. R. Kelly hater, I guess.
Oh, no.
A.k.a. Elvis Presley hater, I guess. No. Just a good guy. A.k.a. a good.
Wow.
There you go.
You was labeling yourself a good guy. I like that.
I'm a
Concerned
good
dad.
guy.
You a good guy.
Good guy, yeah.
A.k.a. concerned dad.
Concerned dad. Yeah. I am. Thank you. I'm a concerned dad. I have 2 children. They're both French bulldogs. And this is Chris Reinacher, a.k.a. the white man's hope, a.k.a. what do they call you again?
I've never heard of
a connoisseur, a.k.a. chicken watch guy.
Okay.
And he told me.
Wow, just really bringing the Chicken Watch brand into my other brands.
Well, oh, yeah, you're right. A.k.a. I haven't seen. You guys don't even know about that one yet.
Oh, never seen.
Never seen.
I thought Never Seen could be a cool like rap name too. What's up, Never Seen?
That's
Never
why
seen. I wear like a cloak or something.
That right there is why you're not a rapper.
Fuck.
What kind of rap would you do if you did rap? Oh, I want to know.
What kind of rap would I do?
Yeah. Like, would you be like a Hamilton guy, or would you be like, I got real bars for these motherfuckers?
I think I'd try to get like a bunch of like. I like triple rhymes. Like I like I like complicated rhyme schemes.
Okay.
I like jokes. I like metaphors. I like stuff like that. I wish I could be like right? You know that type of rap?
Mumble?
Yeah.
Like
I feel like half the rap music today is like you know
what it is? The lyrics. I did karaoke last night for my business partner, one of my best friends, Chad's birthday.
Nice.
And we put on a Migos song, right? T-shirt.
Yeah.
And the Migos really can rap though. Like what happens today in rap culture in general is that people hate on the lyrics and they're like, oh, they're not that great of rappers. I get it. I do get it. But at the same time, their melodies are so much better. The flows are so much better than
that is definitely how rap has evolved.
That's how rap has
melody
evolved.
thing.
Everyone's like, we make melodies. We make dope melodies, and people buy into melodies, and they really do. That's someone that worked in music. I know people buy into melodies. Melodies are way easier to remember than lyrics. And I was into the Migos T-shirt, I think it was yesterday, and it was like really good lyrics. I was like, oh, actually, these dudes can really rap. I already knew that. I'm an Offset fan. I'm a Takeoff fan, but it was just like confirming it as
wow.
Again, like, these dudes
low-key shade to Quavo, right?
No, I love Quavo. Quavo he's the melody king of that group. He makes the songs, and those 2 other individuals to me are better rappers. But Quavo is the best when it comes to making the music.
I do like when you're like when you actually like tap into what somebody's actually saying, and you're like, oh wow, that's better lyrics than I thought. I never knew Future was like so sad.
Yeah.
Like I was just like, oh, it's like auto-tune rap, and then I listened to what he's saying. I was like, this guy's got some demons.
Do you love Future's lyrics?
I don't really remember.
Okay, yeah.
I listened to Future a few years ago. Yeah, I don't really know Future.
Cool. I'm not like
Future's in the past
I wouldn't
for me.
go to. Ooh.
Thank you.
Can we put that in? That sound like horrible joke.
But welcome to Wine and Weed. It is St. Patrick's Day.
It is St. Patrick's Day. It's my dad's birthday. Happy birthday, Dad.
Happy birthday, Frank Brim.
Hey, hope you're having a great day and you're getting pinched somewhere, according to Chris Reinacher. Pinch him up. Pinch him up.
That's a weird thing to say to your dad. Coincidentally, my father's birthday is tomorrow. So happy birthday to John Reinacher as well.
Yeah.
But
we may have
both
our
of
dads
them,
on this show one day. We don't know.
That'd be good. That'd be good to have both of our dads on the same show.
On the same
That'd
episode?
be quite a show.
Father's Day special.
Father's Day special.
That'd be great. That'd be great.
Uh,
You see how much our parents think so differently from us. My dad might be
True.
closer to me than to Chris's dad is to him.
Yeah, my dad. There is a healthy political debate is very common in my family. Actually, I went home last weekend for my mom's 60th birthday, and immediately I arrived. We poured wine and we were talking politics for like 2 hours, and I was like, "Wow, I wonder how I made this podcast." It's like this podcast in my blood.
Yeah.
To just drink wine and talk about the
They
world.
just have microphones set up in the living room at Chris's house. They're not plugged into anything.
Just to have headphones on.
I'm hungry too.
Yeah, maybe we should order some Postmates.
I might order some tacos or something. You guys want tacos? I love tacos. Have you guys not noticed I've ordered tacos twice on this show already?
I
Tacos are
like
the best.
tacos.
You're in the best place for them.
What
I
kind
am.
of wine we got today? What kind of weed we got today?
I think this is a cheap bottle of wine, but I think,
It-
but I
it
also
kinda looks
it looks
like it.
pretty cheap. But also, those are the best. They get you excited because you're like, this is gonna lead into my St. Patty's Day drinking.
Yeah.
You're probably gonna go out and party a little bit, huh?
I might. I got to do a little bit of work. I have too
I do
much
too.
fucking
I've
work to do.
I have work to do too.
I'm relaunching this channel next week. It's just piling up, but
gonna
hey,
all be
I'm
worth
happy
it,
to be
though.
here on Sunday and relax and talk about the week. We got so many things happening this week. There was some sad things, some interesting things, some college things.
A lot of sad things.
A lot of
a lot
sad
of
things.
interesting things.
Every week,
Every week we're like, we want to have fun, and America's like, nope.
the whole
Not
world
on
this
our
week is
watch.
like, nope.
Oh, you will be sad, motherfucker. You will be sad.
Yeah, there's not really like, oh, you know what's happening right now that's kind of happy? That trash tag like trend. Have you heard of this?
Inform me, please.
So like people are going to like a beach or they're going to places in nature and they're cleaning up and they're taking a picture with all the trash bags that they cleaned up and they're doing hashtag trash tag and it's like a
Cloud
like a
chasing.
trend.
Cloud
It's
chasing.
some cloud chasing
Cloud
for the
chasing
environment.
at its finest. Why not just go clean up and not take a picture?
Hey, yesterday I was at the beach and I cleaned up all the trash on my way to the trash can, and I'm gonna be honest, it did take me a little bit of effort to go. You know, you don't need to post this.
Yeah, you don't you know what I hate? I hate when I see people, celebrities or anyone that are like, yo, I'm gonna give back to the homeless. Watch me go give back to the homeless. I'm
Yeah,
like, this is not for the homeless.
And
this
that's
is
the
for
whole
your
video,
fucking
like-
following. Yeah.
Sometimes though, those people inspire me. I kind of feel like to like, oh yeah, I should go do that.
Well, you know what? I already give back to the homeless. I already do everything I'm supposed to do. And I don't do it for fucking clout.
You just
Yeah.
do it low key. You just do it.
I do it because I'm supposed to do it. And I'm
Yeah.
supposed to give to the universe. And I expect to get those things in return. I do. I want them in return. But I do it for the right reasons. I do it because it's what you're supposed to do. It's the right thing to do.
I feel you. I feel like I haven't done a good amount of charity work in a little bit, and I kind of miss it. I was just thinking about it this weekend.
You don't want to dive into this.
What?
The white savior is coming. No, I'm joking. Coming to do charity work as usual.
oh yeah, that's like when you got mad that
I got mad.
our friend Ryan, whose birthday it is today.
Everyone's birthday is today. If you don't know,
It's I guess we got a lot of Pisces friends. Are they? Is that what that is?
I don't even know if Ryan knows this. Okay, look. So our friend Ryan, years and years ago, I used to live with him. We were roommates, and Ryan woke up one morning and he was like, "Hey, Sterling, I'm going to Compton to help build houses."
And
Would you-
somehow Sterling found a
would
way to
you-
take issue with it.
Well, he was like, "Would you like to join me?" And I was like, "Nah, bro." And he was like, "What? Okay." Because I said it. I let him know I wasn't really feeling it. And he was like, "Okay." And he left. And he came back. And he was like, "Well, you missed out on a great experience. It was great. Helped build houses in Compton today." And I was like, "Did you? Did you? Or did you go to Compton to take pictures with a hammer in your hand and act like you're going to hit nails for a couple of hours
Right.
to come back and not give a fuck if those houses actually get built or not? Or do you just want to feel like my reparations are done
Yeah.
That was my only. That
And I was
only
like,
question.
come on, don't hate on everybody helping out.
I wasn't hating on
every
that. He
every
went
hand
He
counts.
went one day. He went one day and did it one time.
Well, happy birthday, Ryan.
Happy birthday. Ryan's one of my best. I love Ryan. But it was just me asking a question of like, are you doing this to actually give back, and as you want to actually make sure that the people who are less fortunate can actually live in somewhere nice and they can enjoy blah blah blah, or are you just doing this for yourself?
Right.
Do you think it matters? Like, I'm just in the trash tag. Like, does it matter if those people are doing it for social media or if they're just doing it for themselves? Is like the important thing that the earth is being cleaned up?
Well, you're happy. You're definitely happy that
Either
people
way.
are doing it in general.
Yeah.
But I would like for people to do it from a better place. If I can't ask for everything, but I would like for people to do it from a better place.
Where are wine glasses? I can't find them.
Maybe they're unknown today. I don't know.
Should I just get regular glasses?
Fuck it.
Red
Fuck
Solo
We
cups.
hood. I got
Yeah.
solo cups, but we ain't gonna go solo cups.
No.
I got glasses in there. We on some hood shit today. We got weed in Ziplocs.
Yeah. I'm good on wine, thank you.
I'm really good on wine too, but I gotta film this fucking show, so drinking wine. We went hard at karaoke yesterday. I don't know if y'all follow me on Instagram, but if you follow me and you watched my last night post, which you won't even know what it was, but I was in that bitch going hard, sweating up a storm, giving my all. They didn't have no Chingy Holiday Inn, so I had to sing Usher and Lil Jon's Lovers and Friends, and Ludacris.
What is Chingy a legend?
Chingy's not a real one.
No
but
way,
in my
right?
book. I love Chingy.
Hey, there is a legend though. That
right
song
there is a song.
such a good song.
A song can't be a legend.
I mean, it's a legendary song. We're ordering some food. I mean, the other thing that happened this week while we're talking about
Nike stop.
Instagram is that Instagram went down.
Went down on the day that we actually launched
It
Wine and
kind of
Weed.
sucked.
It did kind of suck, but it also just, gave us a little more time to figure out how to roll this thing out and make sure that you guys could enjoy the show. And we had some of our biggest numbers ever this past week.
Yeah, that's true. We're growing. We're doing good. We need a name for our fandom, right? Some like wine and weed.
Wine
heads.
and Weed Wimpies.
Wine and weed.
Wanksters.
Wasters. The wine and weed.
Oh, if we take it to
The wine and weed women.
if we take it to London, we can call them
wine and weed wankers.
wankers. Yeah, we can call them wine and weed wankers.
White and
Wanker
weenies.
gang, wanker gang, wanker gang, wanker gang.
My girl calls me a wank all the time. She's from London. And,
But besides us trying to launch something on the day Instagram went down, I thought it was an interesting day. I'm sure like a weird like mental fuck that every time we went to Instagram, nothing was working.
wait, I'm sorry. I'm gonna jump into that. I'm gonna definitely dive into that. But Chris ordered 3 tacos with no salsa, just chicken.
I panicked. I was just like, I don't know
and
tacos.
I just feel like you're a murderer.
I'm
Like
trying to do a podcast.
Who would just have a dry ass chicken taco with nothing on it? You're a fucking murderer.
I feel like
No cilantro?
we're not paying well
No,
attention.
nothing.
I'll put it all on there.
Wait, well, they asked you which sauce. It's like they have
Okay.
they have 14 different fucking sauces. They have like triple X red salsa, honey chipotle, salsa
chipotle.
habanero, salsa negro, salsa ranchero, pico de gallo.
Give me that salsa rancho. Give me that pico de gallo.
Just pico de gallo. That's like this fucking okay.
I mean,
just
that salsa
vegetables.
ranchero.
And you want crispy, not soft? You're so white, bro.
No, I mean, I kind of do. Even though I like soft tacos.
You
I
like
just-
crispy more, though, right?
every once in a while.
All right, cool.
You know,
I'm crispy that thing up.
that is
Crispy gang over
very
everything.
crispy. Is very American Mexican food. That they don't have crispy tacos in Mexico.
Don't even have fucking nachos.
Yeah, you go down there, they're like, what
That's
the
made up.
fuck is that?
Americans made up nachos, which was a great invention.
Nachos are awesome.
Nachos are awesome. I will appreciate America for that one. But when I found out, when I started hanging around with my Mexican friends, they was like, nigga, like nachos ain't a real thing. And I was like, what?
Yeah, a lot of those
Yeah.
things aren't real.
Most
things.
Mexican food that we know and love aren't.
I
real.
found that out when I was in Bali that Chinese people, that is the Chinese food we eat is not Chinese
It's
food.
all
Not-
Americanized.
Not even
Yeah.
close. When you go to China and when you go to different parts of Asia, and my girl told me a story that one of her people that work for her, one of her employees came in, and they're from China, and when they came to eat here, if you go to a Chinese restaurant, they give you a real Chinese menu.
Oh yeah.
So they hide a real menu. They don't even talk about it. And then they watch you and they know you're not from America. They give you a Chinese menu.
Yeah.
Like totally
Like
different
Cantonese food or
Yeah.
like wherever. Yeah, because China's
I was
huge.
fucking amazed.
There's so many.
I think I'm just.
Imagine
I'm a little
going
bit
to like
confused.
Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles and they hand me a chitlin menu. They was like, nigga, we know you like chitlins. And I was like, no, I don't.
Yeah.
I felt uncomfortable. Y'all judged me.
Yeah.
Before I walked in here.
Wow.
It was just like crazy to me. I didn't know it was a thing.
So and then what? What are we smoking today? We got.
No, wait, I got you.
Okay,
So I'll
sorry.
explain these. Can you
Okay.
pass that
Oh,
over
but I don't know if I ever say it. We're gonna drink this Sauvignon Blanc Cake Bread Cellars.
here?
this,
we'll say that shit. Put some respect on Cake Bread Seller's name.
Cake Bread Cellars.
Yeah.
2017 Napa Valley.
So my boy brought me this package over from this group called Loaded. Dope. But they have handcrafted and hand-rolled cigars and hand-rolled joints. Like, and they bring them.
Cigars meaning essentially blunts, or it's cigars like tobacco cigars. Oh, it's a tobacco cigar.
It's tobacco cigar, but they're really good.
Okay, I'm not a big cigar guy.
I'm not smoking this one.
Okay,
We're going to smoke a joint one.
okay.
But
Cigar.
the cigars are hidden. So the joint one we're smoking is called Forbidden Fruit.
Forbidden fruit.
Yeah.
And we'll talk about what went down in America and the world this week in our personal lives. Getting ready for our father's birthdays.
Our father's birthdays. Yeah, so we can, I guess, spark this up whenever you want to, man.
Wow, that's interesting. Usually we're rolling for like the first
Nah. That's why I wanted to
15
do
minutes
this.
of the show, but not this one. We're diving right in. We're gonna smoke this fucking
What
beautiful
the hell?
joint.
Oh
What
my god.
the hell is this? If you are watching on YouTube, you'll see this very
I'm gonna get a close up of
interesting,
that. Just a soup
legal, classy ass marijuana. If you're not watching on YouTube, the roach.
Then you're missing out.
The roach seems to be like either like a hard cardboard, almost
No,
feels
it's
like
glass. It's
ivory.
glass.
It's glass.
It's actual glass, yeah.
The roach is glass, or not the roach, but like the crutch, and then it has this gold seal tied around it. I'm like afraid of this. It's like a thick, cylindrical joint.
No,
It's beautiful.
It's chill, man. It's cool.
It's gonna be dope.
It is. It's gonna be dope.
What else happened while we're on this lighter side? In the world of comedy, the biggest comedian, one of the biggest comedians in the world, Carson Daly, is no longer has his late night show. That's not true. Carson Daly being one of the biggest, but he's been his successor has been named.
Yeah, it has, and it's Lily Singh, right?
I
Lily
Superwoman.
Singh.
I.
I Superwoman I.
Yeah, Lily Singh. And
First
I'm
woman
happy.
to be a late night host?
I'm happy. It's exciting. It might be the first woman ever, huh?
I think it's first network
to be
woman
a late
To be late night, yeah, because
host?
there's like Ellen and there's like Oprah.
to be a
Samantha
late
Bee.
to be a
Yeah.
late night network
Yeah.
show.
It's Samantha Bee's
it's
not-
network though.
Yeah, you're right.
She's on TBS.
You're right.
And then also, I think also first person of color on network, right? Arsenio Hall, was that network?
Was Arsenio Hall Network? Let's look it up
Definitely
right now.
first YouTuber.
Absolutely.
So a lot of groundbreaking things. I think it's a pretty
Groundbreaking.
cool.
Jimmy Fallon is a YouTuber, okay?
Jimmy Fallon was first a YouTuber. If it was out during Jimmy Fallon's day, Jimmy Fallon would absolutely be a YouTuber.
absolutely, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Let's see about Arsenio really quick. But I do, yeah, she's a lot of firsts.
A lot of firsts. So that's a cool choice.
It is really cool. And congratulations to her.
Congrats to her. I'm
How do you
excited
feel
to see what
about
she
how
does.
do you feel about her as a host? How do you feel like that she'll do?
It's interesting to go like, well, it depends what pool you look in. Like, is she the greatest woman performer to get a late night, or is she the greatest YouTuber to get a late night? Or I think she's like a pretty good mix. I think she's like a in the top of all those categories.
Yeah.
When Stephen Colbert was named, for example, I went, that's the best person for the job. You can't do better than that. He's destined for this. I was a little surprised that Lily Singh got it, but I'm not mad or anything
No,
like
no,
that.
not
I
at
think
all.
that's pretty cool. I think she's a pretty cool choice.
Because she's known more for sketches and stuff rather than. So who knows? She might bring that to the table.
Well, she has a
rather than
very
hosting.
like interesting style to me. Like when I think about a late night host, I don't really think about her.
Exactly.
She's very animated,
Yes.
and she seems to me to, and I could be wrong. I'm not the biggest fan. I don't know her stuff enough. It's probably just I don't like watch her stuff, but I feel like she's skewed towards children. So it's interesting to be like, we're gonna bring you in as a late night host.
Well, it's like teenagers. It's like the youth, right? And couldn't you say that about Carson Daly when he got the show? Because he was just like the TRL guy, and now he has a late night show?
Yeah, but he was always a host.
Yeah.
True.
He's
But
always
people
on-
are
He
getting
was,
older.
he was always like Carson Daly here
Yeah.
with TRL News
Ryan
and
Seacrest.
MTV News. And yeah, like with
Yeah.
her, it's kind of.
the
Wanna hold for a
classic
sec?
We'll hold
TRL
for 2
news.
seconds. We got a plane going over. We want to open up the
military
door today.
invasion.
Arsenio.
Yeah, we might hear planes more often in this podcast because we've opened the door because it's finally a beautiful day in California. It finally stopped raining.
We've been struggling for a while.
But now California is drought-free for the first time in 7 years. Everything's green.
Oh, he was Arsenio was the host on The Late Show on Fox first.
on Fox.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's a.
And then from there,
There is no
Arsenio.
late show on Fox now, right?
No, I don't think so.
Interesting.
Chris, are you saying you want to be the host of The Late Show on Fox?
Hey, my DMs are open if you're at Fox and you want another person to host a late night show. I'd host a late night show.
I think you do an amazing job at it. I think you'd be
Oh,
great. at
thank you.
it. Yeah.
Well, we're going to start having guests on this show.
We are gonna next week. I think we're
Come-
gonna bring in our first guest. We have not decided on exactly who that is just yet, but I think next week we will have our first guest. Yeah, lighter.
Ooh,
Chris?
exciting. Look forward to it. Yeah, let's light this joint up and let's start talking about all the sad shit.
Don Perriano don't need Chris. Tangarella say I don't need shit. Nigga, I'm awesome.
So the big news stories this week.
Yeah. Chad is here.
Chad. It's Chad's birthday yesterday.
Yesterday.
Birthdays all around.
My dad's birthday is today. I called him, and it wasn't like, oh, the phone kept ringing and he didn't pick up. He ignored my call. He forwarded me to voicemail. I did not speak to him yet, and I was just trying to tell him happy birthday and I loved him. But apparently he's busy, so what are you gonna do?
I called my dad this morning just say happy St. Patrick's Day, and he gave me a little like it's my birthday tomorrow, like oh you forgot, but my dad has forgotten my birthday so many times.
Wait, who do you share a birthday with? We're talking random shit now. Who do you share a birthday
I
with?
share a birthday with Rosa Parks.
Okay, I thought you were gonna say Roseanne. I was like, oh, here we go. Roseanne.
I think those are opposites.
One of my civil rights leaders.
Listen, Roseanne is a great American, and sure, she took too much Ambien one time, but who hasn't?
I share a birthday, I think, with Mark Wahlberg,
Okay.
with DJ Mustard.
DJ
Hell yeah.
Mustard.
Hell yeah.
Lori Loughlin from Full House has my birthday.
No, she doesn't.
No, she doesn't, but that's a good segue
It's a
into
great
the next
segue.
story. Paid for her kids to get into college. Do you want to explain the story?
I think you should dive into the story. I'm ready to dive into this story and talk about.
John, can
She-
you bring it up
Yeah.
to like get a
She's
little
the
bit
college
info?
USC
She's
stuff?
not alone.
No, she is. Yeah, it really kind of does suck that these actresses like wound up being the face of this movement. It makes sense, but there's people who paid a lot more than she did, and I'm sure those are
Wasn't
like
it? It was anywhere between what 100 to 5 million.
to 6.5 million.
6.5
One
million.
person paid
What?
6.5 million to get their kid into college.
If you have to pay that much to get your kid into whatever school, your kid is not going to make it to begin with.
Also, why don't you just give the kid that money to make a business or like unless you have no faith in
They
your
have no
child.
faith in that kid.
You have no faith. I mean,
They're like, oh no, Chris.
they're like, if I give that guy $6.5 million, it's just cocaine. I
Yeah.
know it. I know it. So
he dies a week
at
later.
least he can get an education with the cocaine. You know. I like who are the why aren't those people's names? Because those are probably like the CEO
They're not
of
famous,
like
man. They're
Home
not famous.
Depot or something.
Of
no?
Home Depot. Why?
I don't.
Home Depot?
I don't know. I was just trying to pick a big.
Why are you bringing down Home Depot?
I was just trying to pick a big name. I was trying to think of like something random that we would know. I didn't mean to pick Home Depot. Sorry, I don't mean to throw the Depot family under the bus.
the Depot family.
Yeah.
John, what do we have?
What am I looking for?
The
Like-
actual story.
like
Let's just
what's
go
the
through
story
it. Let's
on-
go through this story.
Oh, okay. The largest college admission scam ever prosecuted by the Department of Justice exposes a long-running racketeering scheme dating back to 2011 in which parents paid an admissions consultant a combined $25 million to help students cheat on college entrance exams and to get them into elite colleges and universities. And has recruited people.
I didn't know they cheated on entrance exams. So
they would
so
say
the
that
kids
people were
are
athletes.
definitely complicit.
Yeah, like they were live. They were like, "Oh, my kid's a great tennis player." And
They
he's
were
gonna get in just so he
photoshopping
can get-"
motherfuckers'
Yeah.
faces on bodies, being like, "There's my son playing soccer."
Yeah,
And
exactly.
it was like,
Why
what?
didn't your son just play soccer? Like, just do it.
Gee, it
Just
was like,
fucking do
what?
it. You have all the resources in the world. You have a bunch of time. Just make your kid actually do that. Hey, cheers.
Okay. St. Patty's Day is beginning. Cheers.
Luck of the Irish. Yeah, I mean, to me, I feel like that title should be amended to the largest illegal
100%.
scheme, because there's an ongoing scheme of how to get your kids into college,
It's
right?
like even when they've been like, not to go away from this topic too much, but like even this whole thing going on with the NCAA, right? And they're like, oh, they're paying players, and this person's going down, and this thing. It's like you've paid players since the first day you started this. You've paid players. Of course, people are paying money to get their kids in college.
Well, I feel like we've just accepted that these people are going to get away with it, though, and that's kind of a problem too, right?
I think that some people have accepted these people are going to get away with it. I think it's fucked up because if you remember that Ohio mom, Kelly Williams Bowler, she got jailed. She's in prison right now. She's got sentenced to 3 years for changing the address to send her kids to a different school.
Just
a
like
public high school.
a public school, and she lied about what school district she lives in,
So that her kids
so
go
that
to
her
a
kids
better,
go to better
school.
school. And that woman's going 3 years.
3 years.
And chances are these
Becky
rich people
gotta
aren't
go.
going to get anything.
Becky got to get locked up, bro.
Do you think Aunt Becky's going to get locked up?
I don't think she will, if I'm going to be honest.
I don't think she will.
I think she should if you're going to, or this lady needs to get the fuck out.
It should be one or the other. I think the lady should get the fuck out. I think that's fucked up for charging her 3 years in order to make her kids. Also, what fucking are you doing to her kids? You're going to give her kids psychological damage.
3 years?
For
3
feeling
years?
like we lost our mom for 3 years because she was trying to give us a better life.
Motherfuckers get probation for way worse. Like 3 years?
So it feels like it's starting to be like accepted that if you're rich and you do a crime, you're not going to be held accountable for it, right? Like Paul Manafort did all this fucking fraud. He goes to jail for months. Like how long? He doesn't have very long. But then people do low-key things like this who just are regular people or poorer people, and they're being sentenced for years.
Yeah. Well, it's
Do you
always
think
been
that has
way.
anything to do with us, like taking justice into our own hands by like canceling people and all that? Do you think that has anything to do with like lack of trust in the legal system?
Probably definitely. I mean,
Because it's like, wait a second, these powerful people,
but
nobody's
why
holding them accountable.
why would people trust the legal system?
I feel like we just trusted things for a long time.
But I feel like the legal system has never given, again, not to get into the race thing, but the legal system has never given me a reason to trust them. So, like, I think by canceling people, you do feel like, hey, I'm going to take, the power into my own hands, because if I don't make this thing a known thing, if I don't help talk about police brutality or the fact that individuals are being shot who are unarmed black men, or if I don't talk about this stuff, then no one else will.
Because nobody else has for years.
No one gives a shit.
Because it's been going on for years, and now we actually have like cell phones that get inside of it. I don't know. I was just thinking about that during kind of people minimizing. Well, they'll get away with it. They're rich people. Like, they're not going to go to jail, even though this woman goes to jail for something for less of an infraction.
She should have had more money, huh? Is that
Right,
what's going on in
yeah.
America? She should have had more money. If she had more money, she'd be out right now. It's crazy. It's insane to think that it literally is what saves you, but it's what saves you, and it's saved people since the beginning of time. Having
the rules
the
don't
treasures.
matter.
Rules don't matter. if you have treasure.
Wow.
Nix brought up a great point earlier. She was just like, why didn't you just go with like the proper steps to paying? Why didn't you just donate money to the school? Why would you take the route of like, I'm going to pay an admissions guy?
I don't know. I don't know how rich people get into school.
Well, those
I didn't take that route.
Those payments that the admissions guy took, they were disguised as
Was it one
charity.
It wasn't one guy, was it?
It says here that they were all paying one.
Oh, he's the man.
What, one dude at all the different colleges?
Yeah,
25 million?
Yeah.
You're that plugged? I guess
All
it's
of
like
them know
plugged.
William Rick Singer.
Oh, he's
Holy
the man.
shit. And he has the answers to SATs
Oh,
and stuff?
oh, it's got to be a movie done by that guy.
Oh, my God. Does he
Immediately.
look like me?
I want to watch that movie.
Let's see.
William Rick Singer?
It's
my biopic,
William
maybe.
Rick Singer, yeah.
That's a fucking great story of like, I got everyone to pay me. I've never even been that.
And I
college.
have the answers to the tests.
Yeah.
And I know everybody at every college.
That happened in my school.
And I know Lori Loughlin from Full House.
My high school has an
Fun.
actual. Oh, that's
Nah,
that guy
can't
can
play
get
that
you
guy.
in. That
I
guy
can't
can
play
definitely get you in. That guy. My high school.
Oh, my God. That guy has a really devilish look.
My high school. They had a whole movie about my high school, called Cheaters, and it was people. My high school is known in Illinois for being so prestigious and academically inclined. So people would take tests to get in my high school, and then if you couldn't get in my high school, you did whatever you could to try to get in my high school. And our school was just known for being like the smart kids. And then one year they were tired of us winning the academic decathlon, and they stole the test, and they stole all these different things. This other high school, Steinman's is actually the high school, and they stole the test, they stole their stuff to make sure they kids could beat Whitney Young, and they end up winning this one. Like Whitney Young had won like 9 years in a row, and they ended up beating Whitney Young, and everyone was like, "No, impossible!" So they investigated and found out that they had like
There's massive cheating with academic decathlon?
yeah, and like who cares?
Hilarious.
Who gives a shit?
Who cares?
And there's a whole
That
movie.
is not a movie.
There-
Wait, that is a movie?
It's a movie, and it's
Oh,
not even.
I mean, this
this
story's a way better movie.
That's gonna be an Oscar nominated
This
film
one's boring.
compared to this one.
Yeah.
And this one's not that bad if you go watch
No,
it.
it could get really high stakes for these high schoolers being academic decathlon
It's
people. In their
could
own
be-
little world.
I love you being like it could be high stakes for people being academic decathlon people. Like what does that even really mean?
Like, I'm sorry. I meant kids who are into academic decathlons.
Maybe they end up doing more.
It's high stakes for them.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
I did speech and debate in high school. It was it was super high stakes for me. It was just as high stakes for me as it was like
and you guys
Texas
won.
college
And you guys
football.
won one time, right?
My team wouldn't win, but me and a few people on my team would do really well. We were a small
Did
school.
you just hate on the team?
Well, no, we just
Did you
didn't
just
have
say
a
you
big
were the
team.
LeBron James of the team?
No. I'm saying that like there are some teams like James Logan High School in California in Union City is like Oprah funds. They're not like a privileged high school, but they're really talented and they put a lot in their speech program.
Did they beat y'all?
And they show up with like hundreds of people,
Did
like
they beat y'all?
112 people
You're
on
making
their team.
excuses right now.
They definitely beat us, and in the finals, it was like James Logan, another school, and like me or my school.
So you get like 7th place, which is like fucking dope though of the whole state of California.
I
which
get
is
in
huge.
I was just saying I was in it. I wasn't saying I was 7th. I was just saying that's what the room looked like. I was probably 2nd or 3rd, if we're gonna be honest.
Oh, so you
I
were that
wouldn't
good.
win a lot. I got a lot of 2nds and 3rds.
So James Logan was busting your ass though. You weren't getting first place.
when you saw James Logan come in, you were like, "All right,
all right,
they're
here
gonna
it
be
goes.
good."
So who was like the LeBron James
Oh,
debate? Like when there was a guy that you were like, oh shit,
Oh sure,
this
quite a
motherfucker just
few.
walked in.
Oh yeah, that's why I'm saying this
Big
academic
energy just walked in.
Oh yeah. Oh yo. Okay. So there'd be postings where they'd post who made it to quarterfinals, who made it to semifinals, who made it to finals. Right. There's like 6-person rooms, and so if you were in a suit that like 3rd day on like Sunday,
Yeah.
that means you were in these break rounds, so you're good.
Oh, you knew.
But then it
you
would
were like
be
a lottery pick.
Are you gonna?
Like you wore a suit because you knew you were making it to the end.
Well, so there's this one.
Oh,
kid-
that's swaggy.
There's this one. I mean, I would want to be in a suit on Sunday.
Did you wear a
definitely.
suit?
Yeah, yeah.
I've seen you
everyone
in suits.
would
You
wear
don't really
a
like
suit.
dress up well.
No,
So your
thanks.
debate game must have been strong. That's the
later
thing,
on
though,
I
right?
dressed better.
Is that a
later
thing?
on I dressed better. I wore like fucking tennis shoes when I was a sophomore, and looking back, I regret that.
Yeah,
You know?
like,
But we still did good.
Is it that
So we were
like
pretty
real where
good.
like, oh, tennis shoes, he loses points for that?
Some people
That's
would,
fucked up.
but I don't know. We did pretty well.
Even though
that
I don't
year.
want a lawyer coming to represent me in like Jordans and shit, I'd be like, clean up.
Okay, so
motherfucker."
there's this one kid named President Davis, which was an amazing.
Was his real name President?
His name is President.
Was he black?
He's a black kid.
Yeah, I could tell.
Yeah.
Only
He
black
was a
people got
really
that much
good
confidence
speaker.
to be like, I'm gonna name this nigga.
Well, here's
president.
also his confidence is that President.
Before there was ever a black president, this nigga was president.
his name was President. He's somewhere out there still, and before. They'd post finals, and instead of going, "Did I make it?" he'd go, "What room is it?" He'd walk to. The
Oh,
room,
hell yeah.
And he'd write his name on the board.
Hell yeah.
And he'd be like, "I know I made it," and he was right. He did. But, all right, later, Chad.
Love you, brother. Let me know when y'all get home.
Anyway,
All right, Knicks, love you. Y'all be safe.
but so I just didn't. I don't know. Maybe I'm again naive, but I wonder how many people like around me while I was at UCLA like cheated their way in.
Yeah,
I
probably
don't-
paid their way in.
I mean, you got a personal essay too, so like to me, you can express anything, and like maybe somebody didn't deserve to get in based. Like I don't think I deserved to get in to UCLA based on my grades and my SAT scores, but then I think I had a good personal essay, I had a good audition, and like I got in for that reason. So I think there's a lot of ways you can like fudge, like yeah, they got in for this.
I don't want to even. I mean, this all makes sense. Me and Chris.
Even if you don't get the right numbers. Does that make sense?
Me and Chris' first conversation we ever had was probably about affirmative action. I think that was like one of our.
This
first.
was one of the big first times you like changed my opinion on something. I was like, fuck, I didn't even think about that.
Wait. Dive into this a little bit, like this whole thing in general. I was.
Well,
talk-
this is about legacy.
Yeah.
Legacy points.
Well, yeah. I'm gonna get into that too.
Okay.
I was
go for
talking
it.
to someone recently about UCLA in general, and I was just like, oh yeah, blah blah blah. California for many years wouldn't even have to meet a quota on like actual people of color and stuff. They could just take whoever they wanted to take and still would get government funding. And I was like, oh, that's crazy. Like, how you have less than 1% African Americans at your school when you have such a huge institution? And I was like, that's insane. Like, that's insane. And then when you go to UCLA, no offense, I have love for UCLA because of Chris, but when you go there, you don't really feel, you don't see any people of color. You don't see any black people.
Well, you see
and
a lot
then,
of
and then
Asian
when you
people.
do, they're athletes.
Yeah, that's true. I
No,
mean,
no,
just
see-
people
see
of
Asian
color
people.
is
you see Asian people.
Okay.
Okay. I'm thinking about black
But you're
people.
right about black.
You don't
There were
see-
90 black kids
you-
in my freshman class.
You don't see any. And then those 90, probably 70 of them play sports.
I think you're right.
Yeah. They bring and I tried to explain to this white man recently, like, hey, you know, you don't look at that as like modern day slavery. Like, these individuals are there just to make the institution millions of dollars each year. They make nothing from it, and you don't really care if they graduate or not. Like you don't. You just care they're here to bring money in, and
Well, and yeah, and you're in class with these athletes sometimes, and they don't care. Like they don't. I mean, I'm thinking of
They
a
don't
white.
give a
I'm thinking of a
shit.
white athlete. Just to be clear, I'm not just like going like and the black people.
No,
there.
no.
I'm saying the athletes
in
there
general, no, they don't give a fuck.
really. They don't care. They just want to play.
It's rare that you find
I'm
one
thinking
that's like,
of
I'm
a
actually-
prominent professional athlete that I was in school with who like they were like, I don't really care, and the teacher was like, it's fine.
Yeah, 100%. What am I gonna say? I'm
It's fine.
making $100,000 a year to teach you. You're making the school $100 million this year alone. Why the fuck would I try to tell you that you have to? What? No, you're fine.
Well, now you're kind of moving into NCAA stuff.
I was,
Versus,
but paying. I don't want to get too deep into that. Even though NCAA is it's a huge thing going on there, we were not talking about it though. We were talking about Lori. My mom's calling me now. I called my dad for his birthday, and my mom thought I should call him back. This is a weird family I'm in. I'm not answering this.
You don't want to bring your mom into the convo?
No.
Throw a speaker.
My mom she's great. She's amazing. She'll be on one day too.
I'm down
But
for
no,
that.
when I look at this whole like situation and I see like, oh, they paid all this money for their kids to go to these schools, a couple things bothered me about this situation.
Okay.
One, there's no way in hell I'm paying $500,000 to get my child in school or my children in school, and then I let them just drop out. No, you're gonna fucking finish, bitch.
You mean because her daughter dropped out?
Yeah, I think both of them, right?
Yeah. Well, did they get kicked out? Or
No,
did
they
just
dropped
drop
out. They dropped out.
You're like, come on, I already paid for it.
Yeah, the school was like, we're not kicking them out.
We're talking about Aunt Becky, right?
Yeah, Aunt Becky.
Aunt Becky's kid,
Aunt Becky.
Olivia.
Aunt
Jade.
Becky, did she marry Rich? Or did she just save? What the fuck? Aunt Becky ain't been in that much shit.
I know. She's making
She's on Fuller
money.
House, but they kicked her off. They kicked her off Fuller House.
I mean, let's be honest. Aunt Becky is a woman who I wouldn't be surprised is very capable of marrying Rich,
yeah.
being
Aunt Becky's
gorgeous
gorgeous.
and being
Not to sound
successful.
Just saying, that's how sometimes rich guys shoot.
Just saying, it's the guys. Men are trash.
Well, her daughter was found when the news broke of the USC thing. Her daughter was like on a yacht with one of the like professors at USC.
No,
That's
Yeah.
insane.
Oh, I didn't even
yeah.
know this. This is
Yeah.
news.
Yeah.
That is. Oh,
I'm
man.
suddenly going back through college memories I had and realizing that like the kids
People
who
paid
were
to be there.
closest, the kids who were closest to the like deans and stuff.
Yeah.
Actually, when I think about it, those were the fucking rich kids, and like they were close to the deans because the deans wanted to be close to them. I don't know. Or they happened to be close to them because they got in those circumstances where they would interview with the dean in order to get into college. I didn't interview with the dean. You know what I mean?
Man, this is crap. Well,
There's just so many. What I'm saying with like the numbers thing is I feel like there are so many ways to get into college because somebody could have a low test score, they could have low grades, but they could have a really unique experience and you can let them in.
yeah.
Or they can really move you in an interview and you can let them in.
And when we dove into that, I was just explaining to Chris. I was like, hey, we were diving into affirmative action. I was like, hey, one thing you're not even realizing is you guys receive legacy points. And legacy points meaning if your father, your grandfather, your mother, whoever, someone in your family went to the institution that you want to go to or the school that you want to go to, you get points for that to continue that.
The Harvard kids.
Yeah, the
and
Harvard
like,
kids.
I
like
mean,
my dad
I'm
went
not
to
really
Harvard.
part of a family
Yeah,
like that,
but
but you go
yeah,
like,
yeah.
my dad went to Harvard, and so like I have a better chance of getting into school than you, which definitely
UCLA,
favors the rich.
It favors
But
the rich.
you said it was a race thing, and I was like,
He
I
was
don't know. It's just as much of a disadvantage to me, like as not being from a Harvard family as you. But then you said,
yeah, I was like, well, no, because at the end of the day, you have to realize and remember, my grandfather and his dad were not even allowed to go to school with your parents. So my dad, it was just teetered in the area of like, now we can go to school with them.
yeah,
Like, and you have to understand that like you're receiving legacy points from an institution that we were not even allowed to go to.
right. So you're benefiting
You're benefiting
of
from
having
this.
these like chances that not everyone was close to having
Yeah.
because of the color of their skin.
Yeah.
Like because of discrimination.
Yeah, so when people were like, if we have the same grades and the same this and the same that, and we played the same sports, and you get chose because of the color of your skin, is that not racism? And I'm like, no, you were chosen for the color of your skin for many years, and you made this institution where only you could go to it, and at the end of the day, it's like we're just trying to even the playing field. No one's saying like. It's not like you guys are not getting accepted too.
Yeah, I also thought that was just a good example of like why what happens here actually does matter here.
Yeah.
Because what happens
Yeah.
here is literally giving you points to get into college, and you like there's no way you could have had those same chances.
Yeah.
Lori.
Aunt
So is it
Becky.
gonna stop? Like, does this matter? Does it deserve our attention? I think it's getting a lot of attention.
I think it's getting a
as
lot.
if we're like, what? That happens? Like, of course that
That's
fucking
true.
happens.
And in my head, I'm like, that happened. Yeah, it's been
At
happening
USC,
forever.
of course that happens.
Forever and ever. And it will continue to happen.
I mean, maybe, hopefully not.
No, it will continue
Also,
to happen.
why are you going to college?
Well, what do you mean? Why?
I don't know. I don't think there's.
We can
it's
dive into a couple of
different
things.
conversation altogether.
James Gunn. Do you want to talk about that at all?
Oh, you wanted to? Oh, yeah, I don't have any thoughts. Do you have thoughts about James Gunn? I have a little bit.
Well,
of thoughts.
James Gunn was rehired for Guardians of the Galaxy, and that for Guardians of the Galaxy 3. If you guys are keeping up, yeah, he was rehired, and he was. If you want to give me actual facts, he was fired and investigated because of some old tweets. And was sexual misconduct ever a thing? It wasn't, right? No, it was the tweets. That's what I thought. Someone said sexual misconduct. I said I didn't think so. I thought it was just the tweets were really messed.
That's
he was
why we're
making a lot of
confusing
shock
everything.
factor tweets.
He was somebody who was in a shock factor phase, which I think is like an immature phase. But I can totally see that being a phase, and Twitter's coming out, and you're like, let me make these jokes about raping babies because rape is shocking, and
so are babies.
Baby
are
jokes.
crazy.
It's just like I don't know. I feel like we've talked about this before. I can't remember if on a podcast that we aired.
Yeah, no.
But
we have on just shock factor in general. That was my whole thing for a while, and then you become polished and you grow up and you realize, oh, I can still be funny in many ways that don't require offending everyone or.
So
whatever.
he was going through a phase as like an artist. Like,
okay,
who
I don't have a problem with
cares?
James Gunn. I love James Gunn. I think he's great. I do find it hilarious and crazy that James Gunn was fired and investigated for these things, and then somehow he came out on top with 2 jobs. He got Suicide Squad 2 and fucking Guardians of the Galaxy. It's
You got more?
They couldn't find anyone else that was like, well, this person's never said anything about raping babies. We're willing to give you a second chance, but they're giving him like, we're gonna double down on this. It's insane. It's insane. I do like James Gunn.
I kind of like it because we got to create some barriers somewhere where like actually raping kids like maybe Michael Jackson did and joking about raping
Don't bring
kids.
up Michael Jackson.
Sorry,
man.
I'm not trying to double episode. And making a joke in poor taste are like not the same thing, especially when this guy is a comedian. Like that's part of.
No, they're not the same thing. But
No, that's what
did
I'm
he
saying.
deserve to get 2 movies?
It is funny that he came out higher because he did
Did
it.
he deserve the 2 movies he had already had?
Well, Warner Brothers was just desperate, I think.
And they were like, "Fuck it, we'll
whatever,
we'll
man."
do whatever." DC was like, "We will jump in and we will hire anything we can touch from Marvel. We will." And then it was like, well, Marvel was like, "Well, that's our guy. Well, you're still with us, right?" And they just like, "We're
Crazy.
both will hire him. Fuck it." Yeah, well, we touched on that very briefly, but yeah, that was just interesting to me. That was interesting.
Is this
to me.
post
Some tacos.
That is our tacos. That's either our tacos or Jamila. Yeah, no, they're gonna open it. Open it up, taco. No, I'm joking.
We'll be right back.
A few moments later.
Here's a lighter right here.
Here's a lighter right here. It's my lighter, bro. All right, you ready?
All right, I'm ready.
So,
And I guess the biggest story of this week, which we saved for kind of a longer conversation.
Stone Cold Steve Austin 316 day was yesterday. Dun, 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 dun.
And let's dive in. We really got to unpack this. Stone Cold Austin 316 day. Wow. Let's unpack this.
Did you ever stun like a parent? Did you used to stun people?
I was never a huge Steve
What?
Cold Austin.
What? Stone Cold Steve Austin.
You know, as you can see, I
You didn't watch wrestling?
followed wrestling peripherally. I got into it for a while.
I'm surprised you wouldn't be into it because like it's just theater.
Yeah. What the fuck? Yeah, I know.
John nods like,
Well,
yeah,
and I like
and he's
fucking.
like, what the fuck?
And I like fighting.
No, but it's just like,
And I like.
I was one of those weird people again that knew.
I actually realized that it was just theater like later on in life.
Oh, see, I knew as a kid. I didn't start watching.
I was like, this is fake. They're trying to trick me. I'm not a chump. I'm not going to watch this
I
shit.
didn't start watching wrestling until
I didn't
was
go
11,
like, oh.
11 or 12. And I was telling all my friends before I ever watched, it's fake, guys. I don't know why you watch the shit. It's fake.
Right.
And then one day I tuned in and watched it. And I was like, but this is really good writing. And I swear to God, for whatever reason as a kid, I digested it that way. I was like, this is really good writing. Triple H and China, I like those people the most. So I end up being like, suck it, this is fucking funny. I was still in my shock
and I got into
factor.
that too. But then it scares me that so many people think it's real.
Oh,
and
and when you meet like 30 and 40-year-olds who are like so invested, it's embedded
These
into their
are
DNA.
just Trump voters. That's all they are.
That's all they are. Is they prey on the individuals.
They don't realize that it's fake. And then Donald Trump was like a professional wrestler this whole
Donald
time.
Trump. Well, he was a wrestler.
Oh yeah, he's actually
He
legitimately
was an
a
actual
professional
wrestler. Yeah.
wrestler.
Was he in NWA? Can we fact check that shit? Donald Trump used to be a wrestler. Joe.
Donald
You'd
Trump,
be surprised at all the people who've been
the
wrestlers that should not have been.
president of the
Dennis
United
Rodman,
States.
Donald Trump, who they both have the same political stance.
Yeah, I mean, I think Donald Trump was pretending to be a character, like a wrestler, and then he started taking it seriously, and now he's really trying to be that. You know what I mean? Like, he was just like, people close to him said that too. Like, he was always like, it's tremendous, it's the best, and people were like, Donald's being self-aware.
Yeah.
And then he was like, no, this is me now. And people were like, come on, dude, this is insane. But people were like, wrestling's real, and he was like, I gotta pretend like it's real. I'm wrestling now. And then he became a wrestler like a wrestler became a real person. Like Triple H just started walking throughout the world as Triple H.
Yeah, no, Donald Trump's kicking ass right now. Like, this crazy.
Are you watching it?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought.
Was he in NWA? Who was he
I
in?
thought John was just expressing pro-Trump beliefs. I was like, all right, I guess John's Trump supporter. I'm like, make things interesting.
Hate on that.
That's crazy,
Was
man.
he in NWA?
Oh, NWA. That's
Yeah, that's really
No,
important.
I'm sorry, it was NWO.
Why do you
NWA
care?
is the rap group.
oh, I was about to say, Donald Trump is not in NWA.
Donald Trump is niggas got no. I mean niggas got attitudes.
Oh, no.
I mean NGA niggas got attitudes. And I'm gonna correct them all. Fucking crazy. I kept saying NWA and I meant that shit.
Yeah, build the wall.
WWE.
Yeah,
is a-
WWE. Oh, he was. He said, because him and Vince McMahon are really good friends.
I wonder how much he thinks about WWE when doing his rallies. Like, his rallies are very WWE. He's like, build the wall. Can you smell what the Trump is cooking?
Wow.
And people are like, lock her up. Lock her up. Like, literally, like,
What did he
China could come out.
Where's the
It's the same appeal as professional wrestling. Am I realizing this
way too late?
is a perfect analogy? Yeah,
he's a
politics is just. You think the Democrats are gonna be like, I guess we're all professional wrestlers now, and like by the end of the year, Biden's gonna be like some heightened version of himself.
What
or-
happens to Jesse the Body Ventura if that if that goes down?
Did Jesse Body Ventura kind of bring himself into politics? It was like a wrestler by himself into politics.
he was
Was
the
it The Rock
mayor.
doing something?
With Donald Trump, it was like a politician brought himself into wrestling.
He
Like-
wasn't a politician.
You're right. It was just he was just like, fuck it, politics is wrestling
Yeah,
now.
no. Jesse the Body Ventura actually was the mayor of Minnesota.
It was the governor of
I'm
Minnesota.
sorry, the governor of Minnesota.
Yeah.
For many years.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. He got
He won.
reelected and shit.
Arnold style.
Yeah, Arnold style. Yeah, Arnold wasn't a wrestler
yeah.
though.
No, Arnold was just like,
He's a
hey,
bodybuilder.
We
I'm just
accept a
gonna be-
lot of shit here in America. As I'm starting to think about it more and more, it's like this shit was.
Who do you think the first
This was
Instagram
bound to happen.
model to be to hold office will be?
Oh, I'm voting King Batch. He got me 100%. Hey, Batch, you out there? I know you and Logan Paul are gonna have a showdown of.
Unfortunately, it probably will be Logan Paul.
It'll be
Knowing this country,
like
it'll be Logan Paul.
2048 or some shit. It's gonna be Logan Paul versus fucking King Batch for the presidency, and I'm black. The black voters will show out. We will show up and show out, but it won't be enough. It won't be enough. Logan Paul will win. You're right.
Say what you want about Logan Paul, but I think that guy knows his audience and knows his brand.
He does.
And his brand is kind of like very stupid, but he's just like, hey, fuck it, I'm gonna make a flat Earth documentary. He's making a flat Earth documentary.
Is he?
now. Do you know that? Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense for his brand.
Yeah, he's just, it was like, wow, that's really on brand with like very, yeah, you'd make a documentary about maybe flat Earth is real.
That makes a lot of sense.
And like those same people are gonna vote for him into office. I'm calling that now.
Yeah, I think it's safe to call. Actually, it's where we're headed.
Oh yeah.
Dude,
I mean,
there was
social
Arnold
media.
Schwarzenegger. There was Jesse Body Ventura. How did we not know Donald Trump was coming?
Did you guys see Idiocracy?
Yeah. Oh, it's
He
the
was
same.
a
I just
wrestler.
watched it
Idiocracy-
recently. Yeah.
Idiocracy is just our country right now.
Yeah.
I just rewatched it. It's very much our country right now.
Should we mention Jess Hilarious? No.
I don't know that much about her, but if you want to say anything,
I mean, you don't know that much about her. The
you
comedian
just
Jess
told me.
Hilarious. I actually know her. She's cool. Cool people fuck up, say stupid shit sometimes. Cool people have stupid beliefs sometimes too. But Jess Hilarious was on a plane and they were evacuating the plane. And we can actually show a little bit of the video if we can. I don't know. Can we do shit like that yet, John? I don't know. But
Image, not a video.
okay, image. Okay.
we could, right? Like a
Yeah, it's
reaction
fine.
video.
It's a little. Oh, okay.
We could do that. We're
But yeah,
commenting.
Jess Hilarious. They're evacuating the plane, and she zooms in on two Muslim men and says that she doesn't feel comfortable being on the plane with them.
Is she being honest? Is she trying to be Joker?
I think she's.
It's
very,
a bad joke, and
No,
also
no,
it's
no,
a
no.
stupid
I think
belief.
she's very
but I'm just
clear. I
curious.
think she's very clear when she's joking, and I don't think she was joking.
It's
then-
still a really shitty.
Wait. Well, man,
Sorry.
look, we let James Gunn get away with fucking kids, okay? If it's a joke, I'm okay with a shitty joke sometimes, but it did not seem as though it was a joke. So, after that, she goes on the internet to confirm it's not a joke, and says that I ain't apologizing to you motherfuckers. I didn't feel at ease. I didn't feel like, comfortable with these people being on the plane, this, that, and the third, right?
Oh God.
So,
Way to walk that back.
as they get back on the way to run it back, I'll play again. As they got back on the plane, she sat down again and she points out that those two individuals who she said she felt unsafe seeing, the two Muslim men that had turbans on, she said they were no longer on the plane. So she was like, thank you.
Trying to be like I was right.
Yeah, it was like
Trying to be like so I was right.
yeah, that's what
Ugh.
she was saying.
That's
so,
like really low level racist shit.
so she was like, I was right. And, I'm here to say, Jess, you seem like a cool person. I've met you like once or twice. You seem cool. But you're completely wrong. 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 And
Also,
you've been,
kind of an outdated reference. What
It-
are you
it is-
referencing?
it is-
9/11?
it is
That was
out-
18 years ago.
it's outdated. It's also you've been conditioned to believe. You've been brainwashed.
Right. I mean, it would have been wrong if it was in 2001 as well. But what are you even fucking talking about?
It's just for me. I'm like, hey, someone wrote a comment under her post too, and they said, so the next time an officer shoots an unarmed black man and says they were scared, I don't want to hear you complain. Because if you're going to be prejudiced to anyone, like as someone that experienced prejudice, Jess, as being a black woman, I just find that you would be more sympathetic or empathetic toward people and say, you know what, I know what it's like to be judged before I open my mouth, before I go into wherever I go, the places I work, blah, 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 this, that, and the third. You should be able to say, you know what, that man has a different belief than I. You may not, you may not be Muslim, but at the end of the day, as a person, and there are so many, I have a lot of Muslim friends, and there are a lot of great Muslim people, and there are a lot of extremists in every religion. So you can look at Christians, and you can look at Muslims, and you can look at Jehovah. You can look at whatever you want to look at. They're extremists in it all. So yeah, you might have one bad apple that says, hey, I'm doing this for Allah, I'm doing this for whatever, I'm doing this for whatever. It's like at the end of the day, that person's confused, and that person shouldn't be a representative of a whole culture. So just because you may hear a story or read in the news that a man with a turban did blah, 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 number one, don't believe everything you hear. And then secondly, that's a totally different individual.
That's one person.
That's one person. You can't judge a whole group off one person.
Yeah.
And I just read that they weren't even Muslim. She confused them. They were actually Sikh.
Yes.
people.
Oh yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
So it's like, okay.
They're
Even worse.
turbans or Sikh guys.
Yeah.
They're Indian people, right?
I don't know.
Sikh Indian?
Hinduism, Sikhism have a lot of commonalities, but also there's Sikhism and Islam. So it's kind of haven't studied anything about this religion until right now.
I will say
that's
this
a
much,
pretty
John.
ignorant thing to do.
You're doing a great job.
Oh, thanks.
You studying that religion, I feel like I know so much more because of you.
Yeah, during your 5-minute scroll.
Yeah.
5 minutes, girls gave us 10 seconds of information, and I feel enlightened.
Enlightened. Well, you're welcome, my
Well,
disciple.
and then speaking of extremists right now, the biggest story of the week is probably this mass shooting that went on in New Zealand.
I don't love it for real, but I think it's crazy that 49 people were killed in one place, right? And you just said the biggest story of the week, possibly. It's become so numbing. We've become so numb to all of this that Chris just said 49 people being killed in one place was possibly the biggest story of the week.
I'm sorry. You're
No,
right.
no, no.
You're totally right, though.
No. But it's just.
I know what you mean.
It's just, obviously it's going on in other places in the world, but in this country, it's just so much of it. We're so numb to it that we literally are like mass shoot. What do we have? 325 mass shootings last year?
Yeah. Yeah, there's
mass shootings are 4 or more people. So that's 1,400 or 1,300, whatever, or more people were shot in this country and on one day about one.
Well, that's what desensitizes you to it, because you're like, oh, 50, you lost 50, that's your first time? Oh, that sucks.
50? It's
No,
like,
I
what?
mean, yeah, that's fucking 50 people.
50 people. 50 different families who have to cope with this in 50 different ways.
A whole country. That
A
has
whole
to cope with
country.
it?
Yeah.
Who it seems from everything I've seen and read that they are very much how could this happen here? They're very this is a really tolerant place. New Zealand that would be very unexpected in this region. That's all the reporting I've heard. So but people are being radicalized there. And this guy was radicalized and went into a mosque and killed 50 people.
How many people did he shoot altogether?
I'm not sure. Do you have that? Okay, cool.
I'm sorry, I said how many people did he shoot altogether? I know you heard me, but it was because I didn't speak into the microphone. I want to repeat that.
And from reports I heard that he
killed 50.
He killed 50, but
how many did he got?
Yeah,
injured?
injured
Okay.
everything.
Well, and he also live streamed this on Facebook.
He did. He live streamed this shit on
Whoa.
Facebook. So he was clout chasing on his way out.
Oh my god.
50 wounded. So 100 in total.
100 in total.
Yeah. Half.
That's
mortality
insane.
rate.
Insane.
That's so many people.
That's so many people.
And he said he had been planning this for 2 years. He wrote the 75-page manifesto. He posted it on social
87.
media. He's on these different 87 page?
Manifesto, sorry.
No, I like it.
87 pages.
No, thanks for giving facts. I mean, do you have any other info? He
wrote an 87-page manifesto.
Yeah, he's a white supremacist.
Did we read it? Did anyone read it? I know we didn't read it.
From what I heard, they're trying. He made this video too, and
It's probably so many run-on sentences and shit. He probably one of those
they're
kids
almost
they pay-
trying to keep it out. People aren't publishing it or trying to get it out there because they don't. They're like, people shouldn't read this.
I get that. I feel that.
But he definitely is anti-immigrant, white nationalist who I know at least one time said positive things about Donald Trump as a symbol. Maybe he doesn't agree with his policy or something like that. So Trump was asked about it, and he gave an answer that, in my opinion, kind of downplayed it.
Of course. Of course.
Kind of there's a few really bad people. So I don't know. I feel like there's a few different aspects here. There's like the social media access. There's a white supremacy aspect. There's the fact that this guy got 2 AR-15s. He shot up the whole thing. He quietly walked back to his car. He grabbed another AR-15. He went back. He shot them again. This guy could get an AR-15 even though they have pretty strict weapons here. And 3 days later, they changed their assault rifle policy.
Yeah, 3 days later.
So I don't know. There's a lot of things to cover.
What do you want to start with?
I don't know.
I mean, for me, you knew this already. For me, it's just crazy how we paint these pictures here in America and how we paint these pictures around the world. And how we're so quick and we have someone like Just Hilarious looking at 2 individuals just from their appearance and judging them on something like this and saying, oh, they look like whatever narrative you allowed the world to push on you. And you have an individual like this who they have in headlines saying, angelic man turns evil. Angelic man.
Boy,
angelic boy. Showing pictures of him that I don't give a fuck about, but they go get the most beautiful picture. No one could see it coming. No one. Oh, we could never see it coming. And it's like, for me, it's like, how many white supremacists or how many individual white men have to do mass shootings and kill people for you guys to realize you're some of the biggest fucking terrorists? No, period. Out, period.
Oh, that's it. I mean, okay, yeah. You mean like what the biggest like threats are with terrorism? We
terrorism. I think white men would be the number one person
right
on the list.
now. Absolutely,
absolutely.
Right? I mean, to me, it's crazy that that's not being brought up more. Like, there's acts of terrorism going on in our country all the time. We're not doing anything about it.
Yeah.
If acts of Islamic terror went on at this rate in this country, it would be largely talked about. And we have the president saying it's not that big of a deal.
Yeah.
But there's a national emergency on the border.
Yeah.
Because we have 7 people here whose family members have been killed by a few bad immigrants, and you need to listen to these 7 people.
Yeah.
And it's like there are like 7 people a week that die from one common demographic.
Fucking insane.
And it's not women.
Insane.
There aren't any women shooting a bunch of people.
No, they're not.
I don't know. It's interesting that there's not more focus on men and white supremacy and that as a terrorist group. And what they're, I don't know. And how do you regulate it? Because it feels like these social media, it seems to be like a bed for it, right? And I like think about like YouTube and Facebook, they said specifically. And I'm interested as somebody who's worked in YouTube and Facebook a lot of like why this stuff becomes popular here, or why it's a place to spread. Why is it like the worst it's ever been? It's obviously giving some people who don't have to show up to a KKK meeting a way to wear a hood and hide their face and still express these hateful beliefs. And then there's something that gets them in there. And that's what I'm trying to figure out. How do these people become extremists?
So for me, and what I believe at least, is I feel like the internet, like we talk about this, and I always say to him, yeah, the internet is a place where everyone has a voice. Everyone has a voice, but it's our job to filter what we should listen to and what we shouldn't. We can't listen to everybody. Everyone has a voice. Everyone shouldn't have a voice. Everyone shouldn't be heard. Everyone should. Some people are not saying anything. I'm sorry. Some people are saying shit stuff. Really shit stuff.
Everyone has a voice. Not everyone should be heard.
Yeah. Like.
Yeah, like that.
So for me, it's like the internet is just allowing more people to be heard. So I think white supremacy.
And it's weird when those people that shouldn't be heard are heard, and how they become heard. And
well, there are other crazy people. I don't want to call people crazy. There are other people who think just like them. Other people who should not be heard. There's a community of people who should not be heard. They're like, we're all hearing each other. This is great. And every once in a while,
let's not hear anyone else, and let's circle ourselves off.
Yeah.
And let's repeat those beliefs, and those beliefs become more and more extreme.
The community grows. And then the community grows too.
Yeah.
Like, so
I
for,
mean-
so for me, it's like it's also that it's not like white supremacy is. I don't think it's growing at a rapid rate. I don't think it's like this thing like, oh, all these people are doing this now. I think it's been a thing, and I think the internet just allows it where now we hear it more, we see it more,
And they can organize and like show up at Charlottesville.
yeah, stuff like that too. Organization skills are much better with white supremacy now. You know, imagine sending letters back in the day. Hey guys, I don't know when you're receiving this, but we're gonna have a meeting. It might be too late already if you got this 2 months from now.
So if there's a big gathering of racists before, that means that a lot of organization had to happen.
That was
order
motherfuckers
for-
really. That was when they had real
Listen,
leaders.
I organize hate events.
Yeah.
And I really pride myself on it.
Yeah, that was a real leader though, to get all the people to come to one place. Now it's like you could just be a leader of a small group and just join another group, but like to be like a David Duke, that guy was like, hey,
Say
hear
what you
me
want
out.
about David Duke, but that guy's organized. That guy's Rolodex is
Oh,
out of
shit.
control. He
Oh,
knows
shit.
tons of people's phone numbers just
He
by
does.
heart.
Fuck yeah, he does. Fuck yeah,
He's not even that good of a leader. I don't even know if he hates all the people he says he does.
He's not even
But
that good.
damned
of a
if that
leader.
guy isn't organized. That guy can bring a group of people together just on logistics alone.
He has the best events.
He's a good event planner.
Yeah.
And now imagine getting a fucking racist Evite. Imagine like opening your email and it's like, hey, we're gonna go burn some crosses. Say the date, attending, yes or maybe.
You didn't, you didn't put
no
anything
one's
yet.
coming to this.
Are you coming?
Event.
we're
You think I
registered at
need to
Home
go
Depot?
bigger? Do I need to go bigger?
We're registered at Home Depot. You can buy us gifts.
You buy lumber?
You can buy us
Torches?
We're gonna actually let the kids make the crosses. We
We're-
thought that'd be a great arts and craft this year.
We're also registered at Party City. A lot of tiki torches, pre-order.
Yeah, they sell
Uh,
out quick.
You'll be giving the gift to one white supremacist who walks up and goes, "I'd like to get a tiki," and they stop him and they go, "Is this what you're looking for?" It's on the house. We've had an anonymous white supremacist.
What about the
donor.
guy? What about the one guy in Charlotte who really was having like a Hawaiian themed party like that weekend, and he was like, "Fuck, what the fuck is going on?" He had no idea.
I always think about the guy working at Party City who was just like, lots of tiki torches being
Well,
sold
aloha
today.
to you.
Is there a luau I'm not privy to this weekend?
Oh, that's fucking hilarious.
Wait, I think this is relevant. I'm gonna hop into it for a second. So I have a unique experience in this world from somebody I worked with became a leader, a verified personality of the alt-right. This guy named Baked Alaska.
Is
Timothy
he as
Treadstone.
respected as you think he is? In the alt-right community?
I hope he's not respected. I'm sorry.
I think he's like Christopher Columbus. The Spaniards are like, what? And
Christopher
Chris,
Columbus.
that's all you know. So you're like, yeah.
It is all I know. You know what I mean? It is my total viewpoint into the world. It's also a viewpoint on how somebody that I worked with, so he worked with me at BuzzFeed. He was video's Twitter person, social media person. So he would make tweets and he was, he really liked like getting big and knowing somebody at Twitter. And I think he's a reason a lot of us got like verified for the first time. And he was really into like the cloud of things and getting his own followers and stuff like that. And it was like, okay, it's BuzzFeed, that happens. And then he wound up leaving BuzzFeed. And then he wound up getting a Trump tattoo.
Okay. Dedication.
Then he started making trap songs, which apparently he already made trap songs. He called them trap songs.
Wait, what do you mean?
I
trap
showed them to
songs?
you, and you were like, "These aren't trap songs."
Yeah, because I'm confused right now. Like, what do
There's
you
one song about, and also keep in mind this
Does
is
he
a
have any
person
features?
This is a person I know.
Does he have a song with Kid Rock?
And then they seem to become a character. So
Okay.
it's very weird because he has a mullet and he like wears a lot of camo and he has a song that goes, "I just want to make America great. I just want to have a Trump steak on my plate." Feels like it's a joke, right? Feels like it's like a heightened thing. And I don't really get it, but I'm watching because this is insane, and I know this
you
person.
can't look away.
He becomes Milo's social media manager. I think he was working at Breitbart, and I think he left to work with Milo, and then he kind of disappears into obscurity. But he's a big part of Charlottesville. He got maced. No, Milo the. Milo,
I know. I'm saying
Milo
I thought Milo was putting out an
Yiannopoulos.
album too or some shit. The way you said it.
Oh no, he was like a social media manager because I guess what my main point is that was background for the subject that Baked Alaska. That's his name. His name. I knew him as Alaska. His name is Tim Treadstone.
Okay.
But his was that. I think he's been kicked off Twitter for being, but I watched this person who wasn't that extreme turn extreme, and it seemed like he was almost turning extreme for clout.
Clout chasing.
He found himself in this community and realized that moderate tweets aren't going to get retweets, but if I go this insane over and over again, I'll get people. But like professional wrestling, people don't realize that that's a joke. And again, fucking Donald Trump, I don't think Baked Alaska realizes it's a joke. And then it goes out of control and they're Nazis.
Professional wrestling doesn't hurt anyone.
Oh, I'm not saying professional wrestling is bad.
No, I'm just saying I don't want to sit here. I don't even know Baked Alaska. I don't know Baked Alaska.
Yeah.
Stu Chris knows.
I don't know him anymore, but I watched this whole thing.
I've seen a couple of his things from Chris just pointing out this is somebody I know.
Crazy watching this happen.
But my whole thing is, look, I ain't got room to understand if you clout chasing with racist shit. Or with
I just want to understand why this happens.
I know. I'm just saying from my perspective, it's like I don't even care to know why Baked Alaska is saying what he's saying, right? Not saying that we can't talk about it. Just saying I don't give a fuck. Because at the end of the day, what you're saying is hurting people. What you're saying are these messed up perspectives. So I don't care to dive into the psyche of Baked Alaska, why is
But if a guy ends up in ISIS, aren't you how the fuck did that guy end up in ISIS?
No.
I guess I kind of saw some ISIS things in him.
No. If
you're not interested in how that happens to people?
If a guy I know, I got too much shit to worry about. If a guy I know ends up in ISIS, I'm like, shit, I ain't know that nigga at all.
But don't you think we should be worried about even this guy who in New Zealand, should we figure out how he got like that and make sure whatever is happening there, we as Facebook, maybe as YouTube are not rewarding that, and we are regulating that, and we are making sure that doesn't go out there because we see these tendencies of extremism and cloud chasing are happening together, and we are rewarding that.
I hear what you're saying. When I think about as an individual, when I think about how this guy got like that, right? I'm like, all right, I could dive into that psyche of I could really care and be like, how did this guy get like this? But I don't care to. I care to just say, hey, we shouldn't be able to get guns as easy. That's the easy fix. Why do I even have to dive into how this guy got like that? Blah, blah. He can't hurt 100 motherfuckers with a knife. I'll tell you that much.
He can't even hurt 100 motherfuckers with a regular gun.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So, yeah, I could dive into that and be like, how did this guy got that way? And yeah, I do care. But I also am like, yo, I think that why are we having that conversation? When the conversation should be had is you shouldn't be able to get your hand on a semi-automatic weapon anyway that easy. You shouldn't be able to go grab an AR-15 that easy. So that's the real conversation. I'm not going to dive into why is this guy crazy. They're crazy people. Fuck. I don't know. I can't. That's a doctor.
But it just seems to be happening more and more. You're saying it's just happening more and more because technology is advancing and they have access to these extreme, guns and stuff.
I mean, you ain't hear
hasn't there been access to these extreme guns for the past 20 years? But this stuff hasn't been happening as often.
Stuff has been happening, bro.
I mean, I think it's entirely too easy to get a gun. If you actually look at the gun laws, it's so many of it. You can give a gift of a gun. You don't need a license for a gun. You can get it with no
It's
background
way
check.
too easy. I got a homie that be coming to me all the time, be like, "Hey, Steelo, if you need to carry a gun, you know, I got it. Well, you can pay my boy a rack, right? $1,000, $1,000. Maybe a lot to some people. It's not that much for what I'm about to
Well,
be offered.
is
For
that
what I'm
a-
about to be offered. He's like, oh, you give me $1,000 and you can legally, I can get you a license to legally carry in 40 states with $1,000. Nigga, you ain't even asked me if I got a felony or nothing. You just say you a rack and you got me? Is that not crazy?
Yeah. No, you don't have to like see if you can shoot a gun.
No IQ test to see if you can even fucking, like, you know what I'm saying? Make
It's
sure.
harder to get. It's harder to get a driver's license. It's harder to drive a car.
Yeah.
Than it is to get a gun.
Yeah. It's insane. It's insane. So yeah, it's numbing, and yeah, it hurts my feelings when you see these headlines, and we're fucked up. We're all fucked up. We all need to go talk to a therapist. We're all fucked up. We're all fucked up. When we think that people going to get shot in schools and churches, and black churches, and all these different places, when we're like, oh God, well, you know, that's gonna happen. What?
Right.
It doesn't have to.
No. No.
There's so many people who are like, that's
What do we do about
that's
it?
gonna happen. And that's where it always gets tough. Because I don't have the answers to be like, oh, what do we do about it? I do know that we should not be able to get automatic weapons and semi-automatic weapons so easy. I think if nothing else, I'm not saying, I know all of you motherfuckers out there, you're not taking my guns. There are too many guns out there, even the fucking, we couldn't get all the guns.
There are
if we
more
wanted to
guns
anyway.
than people.
Way more. But also, it's like, I don't even want your guns. I just want to make sure you're not getting, if you're getting an AR-15, you're going to war, motherfucker. That's it.
I also like,
Ain't
but
nothing
the
else?
guns are already out there. So what are you really gonna do? I don't know. Make sure more people don't get more guns. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. It's like that. We're asking for simple steps.
I feel like a lot of people are like, nope. Yeah, you just have to. You're not trying to. And then they start trying to say, well, they want to take your guns. Nobody. Let's
down.
Pretend that those people.
Gunny gunner.
I was at a party and somebody was like, I think we should take all the guns. And I was like, or maybe it was on Facebook actually. But I was like, don't fucking start that shit. Don't say we want to take all their guns because you're never going to get anything done that way. Then two people will be like, agree to disagree, continue. You got to be like, let's take these steps in that direction.
Yeah. No. If you say, let's take all guns, you're gonna have way more votes against you.
Relax.
So, yeah.
Relax.
That may be
That's
that
not
may
gonna
be
happen.
that may be the end goal. We can't start with that out the gate.
Don't tell them.
Yeah, you can't. Real shit. It's like, don't tell them. It's like, let's start with, hey guys, you think you can stop pointing that thing at me?
Maybe just that crazy person shouldn't have one. I don't know.
It's insane, man. It's insane. It's so hard to dive into because it happens so regularly, and people. I'll say next week we will not be talking about this. Guess what?
We
I'm
should
sorry.
get.
I'm sorry.
I do often want to
Wait.
hear what these gun people have to say because I don't really understand it. Like I don't understand any circumstance in which somebody can authentically tell me why they would need to have an AR-15 in the world.
There's no answer. They'll give you answers.
It's cool. You guys can have them at gun ranges.
So okay, listen. Hear me out. When dinosaurs come back, and they will come back.
I had this dream last night, and I think it's gonna happen.
Have you not seen Jurassic Park 1 through 5? They're coming.
Aliens. Heard of them? I don't have any other reason.
No.
Maybe, what if all of my neighbors turn on me?
Yeah, it's like then you probably deserved it.
A, you probably deserve it.
all of them?
B, they have AR-15s too.
No, I mean, oh man.
I don't know. I literally don't I don't understand who argues against this unless they're like, but we want to sell guns.
It's they're afraid of police states. They're afraid that if we don't have the guns,
Martial law.
yeah, shit
They'll
like
take
that. That's
over.
what they always say.
That's their favorite fucking thing.
Yeah.
And I have friends who say it.
You
That's why I
think
know.
that's why the police aren't taking over? They're like, but we don't know who has a gun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't. Come on.
Yeah.
Also, if you're that afraid of the government, what? There's so many problems with that.
It is. It is. It really is. But like also like I said, I was like, what's the saddest part of this whole thing is that 50 individuals. I don't want to keep making it so sad, but 50 individuals, and we have another show next week, and we probably won't mention it at all. And I'm not trying to make us into shitty people because we're not. I'm just saying that it happens so often.
It's become normalized.
Yeah, that we're like, all right, we'll be bringing up fucking Amanda Bynes next week. We're like, did you see they saw Amanda Bynes doing a line of coke in the mall? And it'll be like, what? But it's just like,
that would be crazy if that winds up happening this week. What if like we wound up predicting the future constantly on this show?
not even that crazy. It's like when I said it, you were like, that could happen.
Everybody on malls like keep an eye out. It could happen. I don't want it to happen.
Me either.
But
me either.
I think Amanda Bynes is a very talented performer.
I love Amanda Bynes. I do not want it to happen either.
If it happens,
it's just more like we
unfortunately,
we probably won't mention it, and we're like, I feel like we're really like we dive into these things. We care. I give a fuck.
Yeah.
I genuinely give a fuck.
Me
like,
too. I don't want to maybe make it feel like we're making dumb jokes throughout talking about a terrorist act.
It's just crazy that in 320 mass shootings in 1 year, we're still like, the answer is not to get rid of them.
That can't be it.
I have friends when I'll think about school shootings, and they'll be like, yeah, 10 people were shot in the school and killed today. And I'll be like, man, what the fuck? And my boys will be like, yeah, man, that's sad. We can't get rid of guns. I'm like, what? Why would we not? You think those kids, I know I don't think those kids deserve that. I just don't think we can get rid of guns, martial law, or this. And you're like, what the fuck, bro? Like, how many bodies have to hit the floor? How many people have to die for you to finally be like, all right, even if that's not the answer, let's figure out what the answer is. There's not enough attention. We dwell on it for like a good 2 days, and we'll ask questions, and people
I also think those fears are so unrealistic. Like let's really talk out martial law and how having your little gun is really gonna save you. Sorry, if you have a little gun, you're shooting somebody back, you might kill one of the police officers, then they're killing you. Like, if you're really playing out this martial law situation.
Oh, no, they'd stage, like, a rebellion, a coup or something, you know?
Yeah. It would be like the People's Army.
Yeah, People's Army. It'd be more
I'm
of them.
sorry.
It'll be more of them.
I forgot, John. John is part of the state militia.
Yeah. John was one of my friends I was talking about earlier that burns crosses on the weekends.
All right, man.
Hey, cut it.
Donald Trump is killing it right now.
Yeah, I mean, we want to end with something special, something soft.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know if we've made any.
We haven't. You know what?
About it, we're just trying to figure it out. We're just trying to wrap our brains around like why this keeps happening, and what.
That's what's going on though. Is that it's not that like, oh, we're not figuring anything out. It's like it really is so tough, and every answer that you have someone like John stepping forward. No, not like John for real, but like the examples John is giving and stepping forward saying, hey, this is what can happen if we get rid of this, and this is what, and like, and also let's also be real here. And no one's gonna speak against it because the NRA donates so much money to all these politicians that they're like, well, I can't I can't put my foot in that area, or I can't talk about this thing because then I'm going to lose my funding. Are you crazy?
I think there are a lot of reasonable gun owners, though, who like totally agree in common sense gun reform, you know. And then I think there's like a small percentage of people who are just thinking that, like, I don't know, martial law and everyone's going to turn around aliens and dinosaurs and all these illogical things. So I don't know. I think a lot of gun owners are logical people if we can't stop just thinking like it's either take our guns or martial law. Like there's a place in the middle.
It's definitely a place in the middle.
I also think that if you did a like thing where like only the top 20% of like gun handlers are allowed to own certain types of guns, I feel like the competitive spirit of like the gun community would like be like, oh cool, I can only have that powerful gun if I'm like really good at guns.
Yeah.
And I passed these.
So you're sitting there dumb enough to trick.
Yeah.
Got it.
All right, well,
God.
we're gonna make you do a contest.
Imagine that was the answer. This whole time it was like,
All right.
dude, we can turn it into a TV show.
You want to get on TV?
Make it into a fucking TV show. From the people who brought who brought you Survivor. Now bring you America's Best Gunman.
And the Oakley.
And if you are not good enough a gunslinger, you're giving your guns away. Oh,
Florida,
wow.
Georgia
You're
line.
a really good gunslinger,
like-
but you have borderline personality
It's like
disorder.
the fucking voice for guns. They just press a button, turn around, and it's like Kid Rock being like, I knew when I heard that gun go off. That was a special son of a bitch behind me. It's like, you're like, what? Oh, from
They're
the
not even watching.
Like a shot, the judges are facing one way. A shot goes off. They're like, huh. And then like, and they're like, okay.
This is the first time all season all 4 judges have turned around. When we heard that gun go off, we knew this person's been to a black church before.
Oh my God.
Like shit.
Oh man.
Oh man.
Oh wow.
Oh, that show is coming out. That is brought to you. We are producing that show. I can promise you that much.
So you think you
America's
can shoot?
best guy.
So you think you can shoot? Oh shit! Imagine.
I love that there's a
Imagine.
liberal plan behind that to take all the guns away.
Yes.
That's where
It would
started.
definitely come on right after Pawn Stars.
We think it was a liberal plan to take all the guns away. Then like week 3, we'd be like, all right, so the NRA approached us with a brand deal, and we should
We just sell out really
probably
easy.
do it. Yeah. So anyway,
know where we
We're
are.
saying is that these very serious
Things.
matters, and we don't know how to deal with them, so we laugh about them.
We try to laugh. We
We
try
try
to laugh.
to get it in the
But we
conversation.
try to
and
get in the
what your
conversation
opinion
and
is, too.
enlighten people as well, and just have different perspectives on different things. And some of them are very hard to laugh at, but if you're out there, know that I love you, God loves you, and keep up the good work. Don't know what you do.
Hey, I want to say that same exact thing. I love you. God loves you. And keep up the good work. Doing what you do.
Doing what you do. John,
Don't ever change.
John, it's your chance.
Do you have anything to say to the audience, John?
I love you too. God may love you, but John Ross loves you too.
And
Keep up the good.
Hey, fine. I want him to keep up
doing the things that you do.
keep doing the things
Keep doing what you do.
That's the wine. That's why we
That's
sign
why we
off.
put it-
I was trying to be different, guys.
Hey. As you guys do, we're high.
All right, well, guys, we'll see you next week to talk about an entirely new set of 7 days.
7 days in a week.
You see
Met
how I
this
did that?
girl on Monday. Took her for a drink on Tuesday. And we be making love about Wednesday. On Thursday and Friday and Saturday. And meet on Sunday.
Shout
And
out
met
to
this
Craig
girl
David.
on Monday. Yeah. And I'm pretty sure we can clear that because I'm so off key that we're good. I'm pretty
I think covers are fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are they?
Yeah.
The internet shut that
so many
shit
people
down.
make covers and
They
shit.
should be rolling the credits over our faces anyway right now.
Yeah.
We have
There's
credit.
credits.
It's just us. Just us 3 over.
Just our
and over.
names a whole bunch.
Yeah.
We out, bitches.
See you next week.